Welcome to It's a Piece of Cake. Today we're going to be making this chocolate golden rose. So you use your favorite chocolate and melt it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Stir it so it's lightly melted, and then add some cold cream, and then again you can pop in the microwave for 30 seconds and keep doing that. Keep putting into the microwave for about 30 seconds till the chocolate and cream have dissolved and basically made this a thick kind of creamy liquid or sauce, you can say. So we're basically making ganache. So make ganache however you feel comfortable making it, and ganache is pretty much just melting the cream and chocolate together. So you could do it over a double boiler, you could do it in the microwave, however you want to do it, just as long as you have basically dissolved the chocolate and it's went into that cream, and then it's given you this kind of sauce. So if you feel like at any stage your ganache is looking like it's splitting or it looks a little bit grainy, just add a little bit more cold cream to it, and then that kind of just brings everything together. So I have made this chocolate rose cake in two other videos I think I've got on YouTube, but I've never made it with the ganache. I've always made it with a chocolate case. So this is the first time I'm going to be making it with the ganache, and I thought I'd record it to show anyone else that wanted to make it with ganache rather than chocolate. So when your ganache is really nice and smooth, no lumps and bumps of chocolate, then we're going to pour it into our mold as we would if you have watched the other videos that I've done with chocolate. So we're doing the exact same thing. So exactly as we did with the chocolate ones, we're doing with the ganache. So get your ganache into the mold and move your mold around just to get a nice even coating. And then once you've got your even coating, we're just going to pour off any excess chocolate that you have, put it back into your bowl because we're going to reuse that later. And then if you get any chocolate on the sides of the rim of the mold, you have to cut that off just so we can have a flat rose. So cut all that excess chocolate off and then pop it in the fridge and let it set. When it has set, ganache is very similar to chocolate. It can crack if you remove it and you've got thin sides. So all I'm doing is just focusing on the corners, because as you know, the chocolate kind of goes to the bottom of the mold and your corners can be quite thin. So we want to thicken them up so when we're removing it from the mold, it doesn't break. So focusing on the corners, I'm just using a knife to kind of help me spread it out. And then you're going to pop this in the fridge for a good 4 or 5 hours to chill, if you can, preferably overnight if you haven't used mold and ganache before. And then when you have, it's easy, but you have to go quite slow to remove it from the mold. With chocolate, I find that it comes off a lot quicker. With ganache, it's a little bit more kind of quite stuck onto the mold. So you got to be a bit gentle and just move it around till you get the complete case, but complete mold away from the chocolate. So do whatever you're comfortable with, but try and not move the chocolate much and move the mold, because the mold is quite flexible, so it's easier to move. And I did get one petal that cracked off. I was actually surprised it was only one. I was expecting more. But if you get any petals or anything that falls off the mold, don't worry, just put them aside, because it's very easy to glue back on. So once you've got the whole entire mold, as you can see, I'm using more the mold rather than the chocolate, then that's the piece that mine came off the petal. So all we're going to do is use some more ganache to glue it back into place and fill any gaps that are missing. So add some ganache on the sides, and then line it where it goes, and then pop it in the fridge. Use your fingers basically to neaten up so you can't see any of the line. And if you have any holes, like on the top of it, it had like a little gap, I just also filled that with ganache as well. As you can see, it's okay now. Pop in the fridge and let it set. And then bake your cake. So removing the cake is a lot easier, and it's not a black cake, but it's kind of caramelized on the side so it looks black. But it's a chocolate mud cake. It's a really rich, moist chocolate mud cake. So I'm going to cut into it, and then we're going to get 3 layers of cake, of which we're only going to use 2 of them. So one you can have left aside, and then we're going to pop in our case chocolate ganache back into the case. That just makes it easier for us to spread the frosting, and then you can add a layer of frosting here. And you want the layer of frosting to be quite thick and generous so it sticks between the cake and the chocolate ganache. Now, if you wanted to, you can use chocolate ganache here, and if you use a chocolate ganache here, then it basically will stick onto it, and it will look like you won't get the frosting, so it will look like you've made the cake and kind of poured ganache over it. And then all you're doing is pretty much layering your cakes, and in between layering the frosting. We're only going to be using 2 of the 3 cakes. So when you put in your second one, just press it really firmly into the case, and then just nice, even, straight ganache. Get it as straight as you can, and then we're going to use a cake board and stick the cake board on top. Now cut your cake board before you do all of this, so you've got the exact size, or get a cake board the exact size that you need. Otherwise you're going to have to cut around it, which is really annoying. If you're going to have any, if there's going to be a gap between your board and your chocolate case, just add some ganache onto the bottom and then just use your fingers to smooth it out. That's just so there's no hole between the 2 of them. Then spray it with a little bit of non-stick cooking spray and brush on your gold dust. So this gold dust is from the cake decorating shop. It is fully eatable. It has absolutely no flavour to it, but it gives it a beautiful gold shine. So if you didn't want to go for gold, you can also get this in copper, pearl, bronze, and many other colours, pink, blue, anything that you can think of. These pearl shimmers are available. I just like to spray my case with the non-stick cooking spray because it gives me a really nice glue to stick on that powder. And I'm going to go around and do the whole entire cake. For your brush, just use a makeup brush, so based off a brand new soft bristled makeup brush, a big fat fluffy one, it just makes it easier. And then for the corners you can use a smaller, thinner brush if you want to get into all those gaps. So just brushing it on, and then you've pretty much got this really beautiful chocolate golden case. Now if you wanted to buy the actual mold, my cake decorating shop does sell it, but I did buy my one online on eBay. I'm sure it's available on Amazon and Wish as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy this quick and easy fun tutorial, and if you did, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and also you can watch the other 2 chocolate rose cakes that I've made as well. With the ganache, is the only difference is when you cut into it, you'll be cutting into a really smooth kind of chocolate cake, whereas with the chocolate case ones, it more cracks unless you really heat the blade. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care and bye for now.